Hey, this is Adam Brown, and today I wanted to talk about why we created this outsourced art department at Sircle Media. Brands are always asking about creative. They have different types of creative needs for social channels, digital channels, whatever it might be. And I always say to brands, like, it's never any one binary thing. It's not cool, lived in UGC style content. It's not studio, vibrant photography. It's not just social micro content. Like, you have to take a step back and think to yourself, I have a brand in a crowded category. I need it to stand out, right? I want people to know who we are, why we matter, and where to buy it. So when you think about branding and not just being a commodity that just like sells a product on Amazon, which is literally everyone I've ever worked with in the 15 years I've been doing this, then you need to have a sense to yourself whether you're a scaled brand and you have like partners and people you've paid to really help you think this through, or you're an early stage brand and you're a founder, or you're like staff member number one with the founder. Like, who is this brand? Why do we matter? And how do we want to show up? And once you think about that, now you have to have somebody who can help you bring together all of those different creatives. A lot of times brands will start with, a graphic designer, somebody who's inexpensive, who maybe did some packaging and helps with graphics. So they over-index on graphic design because that's what they have. Then maybe they go out and they get a photography studio, someone local, someone inexpensive to do some photos. Then as they go through the world, they find that UGC is the thing. Maybe they get friends and family and neighbors or interns or whatever to create some UGC. And as they start growing, they're getting creative, but they are losing the branded through line, especially if it's early, because they don't have somebody policing it and pushing it back to be like, nope, that's not on brand. We can't use that. Nope, that doesn't hit on our brand message and our ethos and what we're all about. So let's push that back. So you end up getting creative. Maybe it's inexpensive, but there is a cost. You're losing the brand message. So a lot of times it feels very choppy. When brands come to us, they often feel like, I feel like we're all over the place. I feel like we don't have a brand through line. Like, I feel like I'm stressed about it. And I say, listen, like a doctor who's been doing this for 15 years, I get your pain. I know what you're going through. And it's why we created this outsourced art department. Now, it wasn't a new thing, right? Like, social media includes creative. So we have been making creative for brands in the CPG space since 2012. Like, we've been doing it for a long time. And we went all in exclusively on this category in 2017. So we understand the art and the science of CPG, beverage, and spirits, especially brands primarily sold in brick and mortar retail stores, more than anybody. We've had more time doing it and just reps with different clients. So we understand the art and the science that needs to go with the category that you're in, CPG or beverage or spirits. And then we can bring to life branded storytelling messages where you don't lose the integrity of what you're trying to say. So this outsourced art department has always been part of our game. In 6 or 7 years ago, I felt like some brands were like, look, you guys are great at social. Clearly, I've heard of you. I've seen Adam on LinkedIn, whatever it might be, but I want a creative partner. And there were all these little creative partners that would show up all over the country that just did content and creative. And some of them are amazing. Some of them I have great relationships with, and some of them are still flourishing in the business. But those partners are often limited. They maybe do one or two styles, like photography and stop motion, or a video studio, or a graphics and some motion design shop, but they don't do all of it. They don't have all of the golf clubs under one roof, or in one bag under one roof. And so I think that's the miss. So you can't just have one partner where you just pound that one style or two styles and you limit yourself somewhere else. And I think there's a lot of that going on because depending on the taste du jour or whatever the vibe is of the moment, brands lean that way. So it's like, let's get a UGC agency because the UGC content's what I want. Or let's get like really beautiful photography right now because photography seems to be the jam. But then they're stuck with a partner who's able to give them some but not all of the creative. You're going to have no shortage of creative needs, not only from your partners, but from creators, from influencers, from just like true fans creating UGC. Like, there's this flow and you want to be able to receive it, sort of regurgitate it, digest it, and then put it out there in a messaging methodology that works for your brand, that feels authentic to brand X, like the brand that you are representing. And so this art department model, we also spun off as a standalone through a division of our company called Square. So Sircle Media is a CPG, beverage and spirit social media agency that also is really, really nasty and best in class at creative. But Square is our standalone studio that creates assets for all types of digital, primarily leaning into organic and paid social, that gives you cross-discipline talent, 32 full-time W2 employees that work at Sircle that can create that content for your brand with an art director overseeing it so that it maintains brand integrity. You get that through line, whether it's an Instacart ad, Amazon A+ content, your social, your paid social, or really anywhere you're showing up digitally, it feels like it's coming from the same mothership. So this outsourced art department is a fantastic model for brands that need the content, which everyone does, wants or needs diversity. A lot of times they need it, they don't know that they want it, so they have to understand the want and the need for diversity of creative, and that they care about maintaining branded through line. When they need those things, Sircle Media, through our Square division, provides that as a standalone service. It's like 20% of our business, and a lot of our clients have come in through that and grown with us and use us for other resources, but a lot of them have used us for 5+ years as their standalone art department to accomplish this need. So as brands think about planning for the new year and they plan on, putting out whatever their new messaging is, if they're changing it or they're refining it or they're tightening up their package, they're tightening up their RTBs, their reason to be, and all these different things, which a lot of brands are doing in 2026 because of the economy, and a lot of people have taken some bruises and budgets have been slashed and they had to rethink about their seed oil usage versus avocado oil usage, and now avocado oil usage is under attack. And so everyone's just trying to figure out who are we? How do we want to go in the world? How are we going to differentiate? And now we need to go forward. You are going to need the creative to back up whatever that plan is. And that cannot be with one individual internal person. That cannot be one agency that does one thing. You're going to really limit yourself. And I strongly recommend that that's not 6 or 7 different agencies that are maybe good on their own, but they don't really have a cohesive message. You will lose brand message. You will lose your communication strategy of all the work you put in of what you're trying to communicate, and that will be a loss, and that will cost you a lot, both opportunity and financial. So if you want help when it comes to an outsourced art department that knows CPG, Sircle Media and the Square division has you covered. That's it for today. I'll see you out in the field.